Hello, my name is Ryan Reisdorf, and I am going to be an entrepreneur in residence this year at Belmont University. I have previously done this for 4 years, and last year took a little hiatus to focus on work. I am truly excited about joining Belmont and its faculty and its student groups this upcoming year because I truly believe in the philosophy of just jumping. You're never going to be ready for the exact moment, or the plan is never going to go according to plan. And it is believing so much in yourself and having conviction that you're going to do whatever it takes in order to be successful or accomplish what you set out to do. I created a company while I was sitting in my nursing classes, learning how to code and build software. That company eventually became Placemat. Placemat today enables restaurants to go into people's homes or Airbnbs to cook meals. And how I got to this place was that I began to look outside of Belmont's campus and through the windows down the street, and I saw that Nashville had thousands and thousands of Airbnbs in Davidson County. These Airbnbs were not fully being utilized or used, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is the kitchens weren't being used. And I thought that was a loss of opportunity for, one, the Airbnb, but also the guests staying in the Airbnb. And then I kept looking deeper, further, and I recognized that in Davidson County, there was thousands and thousands of restaurants. And who made up these restaurants were exceptionally talented culinary professionals that were showing up every day and cooking and preparing food and providing service, but in a brick and mortar contained to the four walls of that given restaurant. And I wanted to understand, why was there not a platform connecting open kitchens, whether it be an Airbnb or somebody's private home, to culinary talent? And I just set out to go do that. How Placemat got its first in-home dining reservation was being a dog and not taking no for an answer and truly believing in something that hadn't been created yet. And I went on to Airbnb.com and posed as a guest and looked to reserve a date. And at the time, Airbnb, you didn't have to put any money down or make a deposit. And so this enabled me to make to provide a message to the host of that Airbnb. And what I would do is copy and paste a template explaining a little bit about the Placemat services, who I was, a nursing student at Belmont University, and what we want to do with their Airbnb and their kitchen at the benefit of their guests staying there. And at the time, as a host of Airbnb, you had to respond within 24 hours. Otherwise, your rating as a host went down. I sent out 160 messages and I got 159 responses that ranged in a variety of responses of, please do not solicit your business. This is great. How can we work together? But as an entrepreneur trying to figure this out, I didn't know what was next. So I started taking meetings. Some went good, some went great, some led to another one. But all I was looking for was a convicting first yes. And that first yes came at Frothy Monkey on 12 South with 2 property managers in town. And the meeting went well. It was great. I kind of made everything up along the way about what Placemat was and what it was going to be and how much we had already done when we hadn't done anything yet. But just this core belief that we were going to at some day. A few days later, they called and they asked if we had availability on a Friday evening for 14 people. I panicked. I didn't have a chef. I didn't know what was next a part of this process. And so I quickly hung up the phone. I explained to them, like, we might already be booked, trying to create a little bit of FOMO, and hung up the phone. And I had to talk to my roommate at the time, and it's like, either we do this or we don't. And we lick our wounds and give up before we even gave it a shot. And so we mustered up the energy and we did it that Friday night, 14 guests, and that happened to be for Hunter Hayes. And while we were there at that first in-home dining reservation, someone came up to us and was like, "Hey, are you guys available tomorrow night?" And I looked at my roommate and I was like, what is going on? We had no culinary professional background. All we knew was good old-fashioned Midwest hospitality. And what I want to really encourage you as a student is to just jump. Like, again, nothing is going to be perfect. You're never going to be ready. But when you jump, you get to learn, you get to figure out, you get to actively participate in what you're trying to do. And most importantly, you get to gather feedback to see if this is going to be something that will work again and again, or what changes you need to make along the way to improve that experience for your customers or internally and operationally for your business.